Sermon 1. He was born in the ash, among the Velothi, Anan Chimere, before the war with northern men. Ayem came first to the village of the Nechimen, and her shadow was that of Boethia, who was the prince of plants, and things unknown and known would fold themselves around her until they were like stars or the messages of stars. Ayem took a Nechiman's wife and said, "I am the face-naked queen of the 3-in-1. In you is an image and a 7-syllable spell. I, Seti, I, Vec, which you will repeat to it until mystery comes." Then Ayem threw the Nechiman's wife into the ocean water, where Druze took her into castles of glass and coral. They gifted the Nechiman's wife with gills and milk fingers, changing her sex so that she might give birth to the image as an egg. There she stayed for 7 or 8 months. Then Set came to the Nechiman's wife and said, "I am the clockwork king of the 3-in-1. In you is an egg of my brother sister, who possesses invisible knowledge of words and swords, which you shall nurture until the Hortator comes." And Set then extended his hands, and multitudes of homunculi came forth, each like a glimmering rope through the water, and they raised the Nechiman's wife back to the surface world and set her down on the shoals of Azur's coast. There she lay for 7 or 8 more months, caring for the egg knowledge by whispering to it the codes of Mephala and the prophecies of Veloth, and even the forbidden teachings of Trinimac. 7 Daedra came to her one night, and each one gave to the egg new motions that could be achieved by certain movements of the bones. These are called the Barons of Move Like This. Then an 8th Daedroth came, and he was a demi-prince called Fanuiten, or the multiplier of motions known. And Fanuiten said, "Whom do you wait for?" To which the Nechiman's wife said, "The Hortator. Go to the land of Indoril in 3 months' time, for that is when war comes. I return now to haunt the warriors who fell and still wonder why. But first I show you this." Then the barons and the demi-prince joined together into a pillar of fighting styles terrible to behold, and they danced before the egg and its learning image. Look, little Vec, and find the face behind the splendor of my bladed carriage, for in it is delivered the unmixed conflict path, perfect in every way. is its number? It is said the number is the number of birds that can nest in an ancient Tiberl tree. Less 3 grams of honest work, but Vivec in his later years found a better one, and so gave this secret to his people. For I have crushed the world with my left hand, he will say, but in my right hand is how it could have won against me. Love is under my will only. The ending of the words is Sivi. Sermon 2. The Netchman's wife, who carried the egg of Vivec within her, went looking for the lands of the Indoril. Along the journey, many spirits came to see her and offer instructions to her son-daughter, the future glorious invisible warrior poet of Vardenfell, Vivec. The first spirit threw his arms about her and hugged his knowledge in tight. The Netchman's wife became soaked in the incalculable effort. The egg was delighted and did somersaults inside her, bowing to the 5 corners of the world and saying, "Thus whoever performs this holy act shall be proud and mighty among the rest." The second spirit was too aloof and acted above his station so much that he was driven off by a headache spell. The third spirit, At-Hatur, came down to the Netchman's wife while she relaxed for a while under an emperor parasol. His garments were made from implications of meaning, and the egg looked at them 3 times. The first time Vivec said, "It means nothing." After looking a second time, he said, "There might be something there after all." Finally, giving At-Hatur's garments a sidelong glance, he said, "Amazing, the ability to infer significance in something devoid of detail." "There's a proverb," At-Hatur said, and then he left. The fourth spirit came with the fifth, for they were cousins. They could ghost touch and probed inside the egg to find its core. Some say Vivec at this point was shaped like a star with its penumbra broken off, others that it looked like a revival of vanished forms. "From my side of the family," the first cousin said, "I bring you a series of calamities that will bring about the end of the universe." "And from my side," the second cousin said, "I bring you all the primordial marriages that must happen within them, each one." At this, the egg laughed. "I am given too much to bear so young. I must have been born before." And then the sixth spirit appeared, the Black Hands Mafala, who taught the Valathi at the beginning of days all the arts of sex burning hot melted the eyes of the Netchman's wife, and took the egg from her belly with 6 cutting strokes. The egg image, however, could see into what it had been before in ancient times, when the earth still cooled and was not blinded. It joined with the Daedra and took its former secrets, leaving a few behind to keep the web of the world from disentangling. Then the Black Hands Mephala put the egg back into the Netchman's wife and blew on her with magic breath until the hole closed up. But the Daedroth did not give her back her eyes, saying, God hath 3 keys, of birth, of machines, and of the words between. Within this sermon the wise may find 1/2 of these keys. The ending of the words is Alm Sivi. Sermon 3. Being blind, the Netchman's wife wandered into a cave on her way to the domains of House Indoril. It so happened that this cave was a Dwemer stronghold. The Dwemer spied the egg and captured the Netchman's wife. They bound her head to foot and brought her deep within the earth. She heard one say, Go and make a simulacrum of her, and place it on the surface, for she has something akin to what we have, and so the Valathi will covet it, and notice if she is too long away. In the darkness, the Netchman's wife felt great knives try to cut her open. When the knives did not work, the Dwemer used solid sounds. When those did not work, great heat was brought to bear. Nothing was of any use, and the egg of Vivec remained safe within her. A Dwemer said, Nothing is of any use. We must go and misinterpret this. Vivec felt that his mother was afraid, and so consoled her. The fire's mine, let it consume thee, and make a secret door at the altar of Padhon, in the house of Bewetia, where we become safe and looked after. This old prayer made the Netchman's wife smile, and begin such a deep sleep that when Domeri Atronax returned with the cornered spheres and cut her apart, she did not awake and died peacefully. Vivec was removed from her womb and placed within a magical glass for further study. To confound his captors, he channeled his essence into love, an emotion the Dwemer knew nothing about. The egg said, Love is used not only as a constituent in moods and affairs, but also as the raw material from which relationships produce our later exasperations, regrettably fashioned restrictions, riddles laced with affections known only to the loving couple, and looks that linger too long. Love is also an often used ingredient in some transparent verbal and non-verbal transactions where, eventually, it can sometimes be converted to a variety of true devotions, some of which yield tough, insoluble, and infusible unions. In its basic form, love supplies approximately 13 draughts of all energy that is derived from relationships. Its role and value in society at large are controversial. The Dwemer were vexed at these words and tried to hide behind their power symbols. They sent their Achanaks to remove the egg image from their cave and place it within the simulacrum they had made of Vivec's mother. A Dwemer said, "We Dwemer are only aspirants to this that the Valathi have. They shall be our doom in this and the 8 known worlds, Nirn, Lachan, Rechet, Thender, Kient, Akat, Mara, and Junal. The secret to doom is within this sermon." The ending of the words is Alm Sivi.